Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Kemi, and I'm here to talk about Beyond the Gates Season 2, Episode 51. All right, so we start this episode off with we see, I don't have a picture for them, sorry. But we see Ted and Shanice, they're talking at the hospital, and she's telling him that she's waiting on his aunt, and um, she's asking him if he wants to come and go do lunch with her aunt, and he's just like, oh no, I don't want to intrude on y'all's lunch or whatever. And then Eva comes and intrudes on their conversation, and she's complaining about Leslie, like, oh, you have to help me with mama and da, 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 all this other stuff. Dad, I need your help with mama. And he was just like, I thought you was sick. And she was just like, oh no, my headache went away. And he was just like, all right, let's go to my office and talk. And then she was just like, hey, Shanice. And it's just like, girl, you didn't even say excuse me. You didn't even say sorry. You didn't say nothing. You just interrupted their conversation, stole him away from their conversation. And all you can say is, hey, Shanice. But y'all say cat is rude. Whatever. They Cat and if y'all want to keep saying that, Cat and Eva are the same. They are the same person. Same. What is it? They're a two-sided coin. Boom, that's them. Anyways, so he takes her to the office to discuss what's going on. She's complaining about um Leslie doubling down on her getting about the wedding and her getting married. He's asking, well, how does Izaiah feel about this? And she's like, oh, he thinks it's funny. And Ted was just like, oh, that's a good thing because whoever you date needs to take these things in stride because you've made it a point to say that you won't cut Leslie out of your life. Um, she tells him that she wants him to talk to Leslie because she knows that things will get worse before it gets better. She knows when her mom's when Leslie's starting to fixate on something, and she knows how that can go. He tells her that him talking to Leslie won't improve things, and she's just like, no, but you have a way with her, and da 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 da. So can you please talk to her? And he was just like, okay, fine. And he was just like, Izaiah must mean a lot to you. And she was just like, yeah, we first started off as friends with benefit. And he's just like, too much information. She was just like, no, no, no. We had a fight because we thought that the other didn't want more than what we whatever, like, we didn't he she they both wanted the same things, but they thought that they didn't, and all this other stuff. And now that they've figured out that they do want it. She doesn't have a lot of friends in town, and she doesn't want to lose the best friend that she does have. So, like I said on my TikTok, I understood when she said this part, how she was just like, she doesn't have a lot of friends in town, and she doesn't want to lose the best friend that she has. I understood the phrasing of it. Like, this is not that he's her best friend, but this is the best friend that she has because she has none. So this is the best one that she has. So I got it. Like, it was just like, okay, I get it. In this moment though, she's being selfish because how your mama is. Your mom's fixation on this man, and this man in particular. And for you to go to him to tell him to talk to your mom so that she can take the focus off of you and focus back on him is selfish because of what your mom did to him. No, what you and your mama did to this man and his family. So for you to ask him to talk to her after the last time, if I'm not mistaken, the last time that we saw you, him, and your mom together was when he came and dropped the pennies on the table and told your mama to quit playing with him. If I'm not mistaken, that's the last time we saw you with him. So you know what your mom has still been doing to this man. And he had to come at her in a way so that she would leave him alone. yet you are asking him to talk to her. That was selfish, and that's not cool. But it is what it is. So we see Dani. She comes home and she's complaining about what Leslie has. She's complaining about what Leslie has done to with the whole wedding planning or whatever. He comes out of the shower, he ain't got no clothes on, and she's like distracted by his beauty or whatever. So she ain't focused anymore, she's focused on him or whatever. He tells her to focus. She tells him what Leslie's done and how she's stolen all of their ideas, booked all of the venues for the actual date and the backup dates, all the backup dates for Leslie. I mean, for Eva. And he's just like, when did Eva get engaged? And she was just like, I don't know, I don't care, but she's messing with us and that ain't cool. So he was just like, you know what, I'm gonna go talk to my Uncle Ted, he can talk to her. And it's just like, again, why do y'all keep wanting to put this man back in her orbit after what she did? Like, I don't get it. Like, what? First of all, he can't do nothing. He can't even bust a grape when it comes to this lady. She laughs in his face and continues to do what she wants. So why would y'all think that Ted could talk her out of doing anything? Is beyond me. Second of all, why do y'all even want to put her back in his orbit? Like, why? Ugh. So he's just like, he gonna go talk to his Uncle Ted. They end up having sex because they some horn dogs. So they go and have sex, and afterwards they're downstairs in the dining room or whatever. And he's thanking her for, no, she's thanking him for talking to Ted. And he, says, okay, well, now since you're thanking me, are you up for going to dinner with, can we do the dinner or whatever? And she'll just like, yeah, I haven't been putting it off, blah, 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 blah. Let's go ahead and do it or whatever. So he's happy about that. Sorry. And I also apologize. When they were in bed, he told her about a job opportunity that he had, and he wasn't sure he wanted to take it because of everything that's going on with Anita. She told him take it. He's gonna have to go out of town to go to do stuff for March Madness, because the episodes that we're showing this week, we only got 3 episodes this week because March Madness we saw March Madness for that Thursday and Friday episode of this week's episode. So him mentioning him going to have to go do stuff for March Madness coincides or whatever. She tells him go and do the job, whatever. That's when they go downstairs, thanks each other. They decide to set up the date or whatever for the double date with him, her, Shanice, and Ted or whatever. So we see Kat. She runs into Izaiah at the coffee shop, and she makes a remark about him reading because of Eva and that Carlavati series that they be reading, which is the one that not Ted, Tomas and Eva read together or whatever. And he's just like, no, he's reading Langston Hughes. I think that's what he said. And she's just like, oh, my bad, don't blame me because, she mentions him being engaged. And he's just like, come again. And she tells him how Leslie is planning his wedding. And he was just like, oh, it's a rumor. It's a rumor or whatever. And okay, sorry. So yeah, so again, Kat runs into Izaiah. She tells him about the whole engagement of it all. He tells her, it's a rumor, but he low key flirts with her, talking about, I'm glad to know that how you would feel about me being off the market or whatever. And I was just like, okay, I kind of see it, but then again, But so she tells him how Leslie booked everything. She was just like, you may think it's a rumor, but Leslie doesn't think it's a rumor. She's literally booked every idea that Chelsea wanted for her wedding. She has booked it for you and Eva's wedding. Her backup date, her original dates and her backup dates. And he's just like, oh, it's funny. And Kat's just like, she doesn't understand why he's upset about it. And, he plays it off. He tells her that he spoke with Leslie and she says she would back off. And Kat tells him, you don't know who you're dealing with. Um, and he tells her, a lot of people, even Eva, have told him that Leslie is too much. And Kat tells him, he may think it's all good now, but what happens when things don't work out, or what happens when Leslie sees someone better for Eva, um, and he's in the way. What you gonna do? And he tells her, he says he'll deal with it when it happens. She tells him, so you think you can handle it? And he says, no, I think Eva's worth it. And it's just like, okay, i'll give you I'll give you that, but what makes Eva worth it is what I want to know, because nothing that y'all have shown me on this screen about Eva and Izaiah has made it seem worth him dealing with Leslie. All y'all do is sleep with each other. You are freshly out of a relationship with someone. She is your rebound. So how is she worth it? I need to see more. I want to see more of them, that it's not just sex that says, "Oh, this is worth it," because all y'all do is have sex. But okay. So she he says that Kat doesn't understand how he and Jacob are brothers. We all don't understand because, well, I mean, they both slow. Well, whatever. She says, Jacob found an upstanding person in Naomi and he found Eva. And girl, so he says, he tells her she needs to separate Eva from Leslie. And it's like, how can she separate Eva from Leslie when they are a package deal? And you are seeing that in this instance. Like, you are seeing that firsthand, that they are a package deal. How can you tell somebody to separate those two when they are a package deal? And again, you are seeing them as a package deal. I don't get it, but whatever. So, um, yeah, he separates them. She tells Leslie that they are a team and he needs to understand that. He tells her he isn't taking advice from someone who doesn't know his girlfriend and who refuses to get to know her. She does know Eva. You don't know Eva. Only thing that you know about Eva is what she is showing you. And what she's showing you is low key a facade, because that is not the Eva that Kat got, is not the Eva that everybody else gets. And so she knows Eva as a different way than what you're seeing. And she also knows Eva as the person who helped her mom hide evidence of a crime. And you don't even know about that, because when you asked your girlfriend if she was keeping anything from you, she played it off from you. She didn't tell you all her secrets, but whatever. So he tells her, he can hold a grudge, but she needs to ask herself if it's serving her or if it's getting in the way. And it's like, I understand that. I get it. Is this grudge that Kat is holding against Eva, is it serving her or getting in her way? And at this point, it's low key getting in her way, but also shut up, Izaiah, because you don't know Eva. Low key, none of y'all know Eva because y'all only met her a year ago. Kat met her a year ago. You met her a couple months ago. And by the time that you met her, she was already the victim at that point. She was not the aggressor by the time that you met her. When Kat met her, she was the aggressor and the person who ruined her life. Please stop it, Izaiah. Whatever. She tells him She says, I call it common sense. She says, call it what you want, a grudge or whatnot. I call it common sense to keep my distance from dishonest and dangerous people. And hopefully he won't have to learn the hard way like she did, like like Ted did. That's what she said. He said, he tells her that looking at Ted and Leslie's history, you could decide that Ted was a dangerous one, toying with Leslie's emotions and just abandoning her. And again, shut the hell up, Izaiah, because you are all the way tripping with that analysis. Because Ted was not toying with Leslie's emotions. Leslie toyed with her own damn emotions by getting involved with a married man and thinking that he would leave his wife for her. That was all on Leslie. Miss me with all of that, Izaiah. And the way that he be taken up for Leslie and Eva, you would think that he was a cheater his damn self. But whatever. So she tells him the only other person other than Leslie that saw it that way was Eva, and even she admits that she was brainwashed. So again, your own girlfriend doesn't believe what you are pushing out about the whole Leslie and Ted thing. So, sir, were you the cheater in your relationship with Yolanda? Because that's what it's giving. Whew. So she tells him Leslie lured her dad into an affair, and I don't think that. I'm gonna have to. I don't know about all that, cat, but we'll go ahead. So she says, um, he lured her into an affair, and it freaked out, and then she freaked out when he put a stop to it, which she did. And then all these years later, he's still trying to shake her loose, and he needs to think if that's the future he wants to marry into. She was all the way right with that, except for the lure part. Can't see that, but she was all the way right with the rest of it. Izaiah, I need you to think, because you're not thinking with all of this right here. You thinking with that down there. But okay. So we see Leslie. She is bothering Derek at Orphe Jeans, and she's getting all in his face, and he is ignoring her. He's telling her, I don't report to you, I don't talk to you. He tries to call Eva. She ignores his call because she was complaining to Ted about um she's complaining to Ted because she does mention, because he was just like, "Do you want to get that?" And she was just like, "No, it's Derek. Who knows what Mama has done." What Mama is doing with him. And again, you know that your mama is bothering this man, and you know you told this man that you would run interference for him. And when he needs you to run interference for him, you shut him down so that you can complain and get somebody else to deal with your mama because you're selfish. But whatever. I digress. So again, she's still bothering this man. He takes a picture of her, and he was just like, "Oh, I wonder how Eva's gonna feel about this." And he sends a picture to Eva and then walks off. Put her in her place because she's on hush mouth. Again, one of the only other characters that can put Leslie on hush mouth. Yeah. So whatever. So um we see Leslie. I mean, Eva meets Leslie at Orphe Jeans, and she tells her, leave Derek alone. You need to leave this man alone. I told him that he wouldn't have to deal with you and you bothering him. And she was just like, "Oh, we can fire him if you come work for me." And she was just like, "I'm not coming to work for you. Leave me alone." Woo doo woo. She makes a remark about Eva tells Leslie she needs to control herself. Eva makes a remark about her needing to go see Ted because her worry lines are starting to show. And it's just like, girl, why would you whatever. So Leslie goes to Ted, and she comes there. She's telling him, "Oh, I want you to fire our daughter, but don't let it be known that it's coming from me." And he was just like, "When are you gonna start? When are you gonna stop working people? Like, what is your issue?" He tells her, he was like, "No, I'm not gonna fire her." He wants to know what's wrong with her. She's messing things up for Eva. He wants to know. He's like, "Are you not getting enough from your boyfriend? Is that why you bothering our daughter?" All this other stuff. Um, she compliments Isaiah and how fine he is, and another thing, and oh, we talked already and we came to an agreement. And he was just like, "So you came to an agreement." He mentions, you only reason why you're pushing so hard for them is because of Elon, and you think Elon is going to protect you better than Marcel can. She brushes it off. She then starts to come on to him or whatever, and he takes a look a little bit too long at her, because she walks up on him and puts her butt in his face, and he's looking like, "I'm not about to do," and it's just like, child, like, again, you whatever. Look, whatever. So Andre comes in. He's telling her, "I want to, like, I'm trying to co-parent with you, and you keep crossing the line." And it's just like, why are you trying to co-parent a grown ass woman? Eva is grown. You don't need to have any dealings with Leslie when it pertains to Eva at this point. She is a grown woman living on her own, doing things on her own. Matter of fact, she works for you. So why would you need to co-parent with Leslie? Like, this is pissing me off. Like, I just don't get it. Like, why are y'all acting like y'all need to co-parent this girl? She parented this child all on her own. Now it's your turn to take care of her. Like, why do you need to? You don't have to deal with Leslie at all pertaining to Eva at this point. Ain't nothing medically wrong with that woman, with Eva. She's living her life like it's golden. You don't need to co parents. So she leaves because Andre then came in. Andre tells him, "I was coming to you to tell you to talk to." He tells him about what Leslie had did about the whole Chelsea thing. He says, "Let me know what date Chelsea wants for her wedding. I'll make sure that all of that stuff is canceled. She's gonna have the date that she wants." Andre tells him, he's about to go out of town, but when he gets back, he wants them to, go on a double date. He's just like, "You may want to check with your wife." And he was just like, "Yeah, I already checked with her. We're all good. We're gonna do this. Whoop de whoop de whoop, whatever." We see, quick scene. Leah berates um Ashley because Shanice is on break, and Ashley was stepping up to do her job in that moment, and she was messing up because a patient hadn't gotten their medicine when it was put in or whatever. So again, she's going in on Ashley basically. Really, the only reason why she really going in on her is because the girl is talking to Grayson, but whatever. So we see Shani. She is at Uptown with her aunt, and um, prior to them getting to Uptown, her aunt Shanice was working with Kyle, and her aunt came, seen Kyle. She started flirting with him, all this other stuff. She tells her, "You got some fine doctors in this hospital." They go to Uptowns. They're talking about what's going on, why she doesn't want to invite Ted to her mom's birthday party. And Shanice tells all of Nicole's business. Monica was saying, "Oh, that's messy. She don't think Nicole's a good person or something like that." And she's just like, "No, Nicole is a good person." She whatever she takes up for Nicole or whatever. Then they start talking about Leslie and how Ted's daughters feel. I mean, Ted's children feel about him dating Shanice and even Eva, and she's just like, oh, they're all cool with it. Even Eva doesn't want them to be together, so she's cool with it. X, Y, and Z, all this other stuff. She tells her, be careful because you work at the hospital and everybody is there, whatever. So they go back to the hospital, and oh wait, no, sorry. We see um Izaiah. He meets Eva at Orphe Jeans and he tells her what Kat told him. She can't believe it. He laughs it off. She wants to know when, oh, she did all of this. When was this planned? Are we going to just have a wedding this weekend? And he was just like, no, she took all of Chelsea's date and Chelsea's backup dates. And Eva's just like, oh my God, I can't imagine how the Duprees are handling this. He's telling her it's okay, and she's just like, in what world do you think this is okay? Like, exactly, like, you're too nonchalant about what Leslie is doing, and even her daughter is telling you it's not okay, but you keep acting like it is and you're laughing it off, and your girlfriend is telling you it's not okay because it's not. The stuff that she's doing is not okay, and I don't understand why you keep thinking it is. So she's just like, I don't even know who to call to cancel all these other stuff. And he was just like, let's not do that. She gets happy because she's just like, oh, and he was just like, why don't we reach a compromise? And she was just like, what in what world do you think Leslie compromises? And he was just like, how about we let um Leslie throw us a big party, and then we can pick a date, and then Chelsea can have all the other that way Chelsea can have the other dates or whatever. And it's just like, get rid of all of the dates. You can throw a party at any other time. Why would you want to throw a party right after Chelsea is going to have her wedding, or right before Chelsea has her wedding? Why would you even think that's cool? Like, again, whatever. So he was just like, we'll throw a party on one of the dates again, and that'll free up the other dates for Chelsea. Boo, tomatoes, tomatoes. Throw that whole idea away. Whatever. She says, there's a flaw in your plan. You just moved to town. I'm the town pariah because of my mama. No, you're the town pariah because of you and your mama. Also, you are not the town pariah. The only person giving you pushback is Kat and Jacob. Everybody else thinks of you as a victim. Everybody is fond of you. Quit lying. You are nobody's pariah. Whatever. So he said, it's a year from now. That will give us time to make friends. And if we don't, if the band is any good, we can sell tickets and we can do it like a fundraiser for the clinic. They cool with that. They do a little handshake that they made up or whatever. Boom. So we see Shanice and her aunt. They're coming back from the uptown, and they're getting off of the elevator. And as they're getting off of the elevator, her aunt says, oh, I want to see Ted before I leave. And Leslie is there. She makes a beeline for him. Who is this woman, and why does she want to see my Ted? And it's just like, and before Shanice can say anything, she's just like, oh, okay, you must be one of his patients. You must be one of his patients. Yeah, you could use some work or whatever. And Shanice is just like, no, this is Dr. Monica, and she is a world-renowned doctor and all this other stuff. Whatever. Leslie tells her Ted is busy, so she can go, ma'am, go have several seats. Monica tells her, if you keep looking for trouble, and you keep messing with my niece, you're gonna get twice. You're gonna get twice of what you can handle. And Leslie just smirks at them because, again, nobody but the white characters can put Leslie in her place. The black characters are just like, whatever. I wish you would. That's how Leslie plays it. But okay. But that was the episode. So yeah, this review was a little long because yes, I was irritated with this episode because in my last video I complained about Leslie, and in this video it's the same complaint because she had a scene with Derek. She had a scene with Eva. She had a scene with Ted. She had a scene with Andre. Then she ends up having a scene with Shanice and her aunt. That is 6 characters that this woman that they had Leslie interact with in a 45-minute episode. It's too much. Way too much. Too much. It is too much. And I completely missed because I was so irritated. Sorry. We get a scene of Kat and Dani. Kat goes to Dani and she tells her that Izaiah and Eva are not engaged and they can get back to planning Chelsea's wedding. They're excited about it. Dani thanks her for being there for her parents, and Dani and Chelsea is just, I mean, not Chelsea, Kat's just like, I'm about to go home to do a little picnic dinner for Grand, and Dani says, I'm gonna come with you. So they go to do a picnic brunch with Anita. So that was the episode. So again, Leslie interacted with the most characters in today's episode. Izaiah interacted with Kat and Eva. Kat interacted with Eva and Dani. Dani interacted with Andre and Kat. Andre interacted with Dani and Ted. Ted interacted with Shanice, Eva, Leslie, and Andre. Ashley interacted with just Leah. Shanice interacted with Kyle, her aunt, Ted, Eva, and Leslie. And Ted and Eva were all in the same scene. But again, Leslie interacted with the most people this episode, and it was so irritating, all of her episodes, because she was annoying, and only one person out of all the 5, 6 people that she interacted with were able to put her in her place. Everybody else had to hear her talk. She had to get the last word. She had to smirk at them like, I wish you would. And it's annoying. But I'm not going to go off again because I did that last episode. And this video is getting long. So again, that was the episode. Make sure you guys are liking, subscribing, and turning on your post notifications. Get down in the comments. Tell me what you guys thought about this episode. Tell me how you guys feel about Izaiah, because yeah. And I will see you guys in the next one.